સૌથી પહેલાં તો આપ સૌને નવા વર્ષની ખૂબ ખૂબ શુભકામનાઓ અને હેપી લાભ પાંચમની શુભકામનાઓ. ફેડબેંક ફાઇનાન્શિયલ સર્વિસ લિમિટેડના પ્રેસ કોન્ફરન્સમાં આપ સૌનું ખૂબ સ્વાગત. આપણી સાથે કંપની મેનેજમેન્ટથી શ્રી અનિલ કથુરીજી, કંપનીના મેનેજિંગ ડાયરેક્ટર અને કંપનીના CEO છે, અને આપણી સાથે છે શ્રી સીડી ગણેશજી, કંપનીના ચીફ ફાઇનાન્શિયલ ઓફિસર. IPO ની ડિટેલમાં IPO 600 કરોડનું છે. પ્રાઇસ બેન્ડ 133 થી 140. IPO 22મી નવેમ્બર બુધવારે ચાલુ થશે અને 24મી નવેમ્બર શુક્રવારે IPOની ક્લોઝિંગ છે. 21 નવેમ્બર મંગળવાર IPOની એન્કર બુક ખુલશે અને એન્કર લોન્ચ થશે. બેઝિકલી ફેડબેંક ફાઇનાન્શિયલ સર્વિસીસ ફેડરલ બેંકનું એક પાર્ટ છે અને સ્મોલ ટિકિટ લેબ અને હાઉસિંગ લોન પ્લસ મીડિયમ ટિકિટ લેબ પ્લસ ગોલ્ડ લોન અને અનસિક્યોર્ડ બિઝનેસ લોનમાં ડીલ કરે છે. હું શ્રી અનિલ કથુરીજીને કહીશ કે કંપનીની તમને ડિટેલમાં માહિતી આપે. થેન્ક યુ.
Good afternoon and welcome. I wish everybody a very happy new year and greetings of the new season and happy La Pancham. I represent Fedbank Financial Services Limited. We'll call it Fedfina for short. The mission of our company is to empower emerging India with easy access to loans. Emerging India refers to the small self-employed customer, and easy access to loans refers to our ambition to use whatever collateral the customer has and whatever information the customer can provide us, and to do the loan very quickly and in a convenient manner for the customer. Our belief is that the small self-employed customer is hugely underserved, and that is why we are in business and we come to work to empower emerging India with easy access to loans. You've already shared the details of the issue: 1,092 crore rupees, 600 crore rupees primary and 492 crore rupees offered by the selling shareholders, and the issue opens next Wednesday. A bit about my background. This is my 30th year of work life. I finished my post-graduation right here in Ahmedabad and began working with Citibank. I worked there between 94 and 2010. 28 of my 30 years have been in consumer lending, and in Citi I had stints in mortgage loans, unsecured loans, share finance. I ran an auto loan company called Citicorp Maruti Finance Limited, and in my last stint there I ran the SME business where we lend to small and medium enterprises. Between 2010 and 2018 I worked with the Edelweiss Group. I helped set up and scale up the retail lending business. We had an HFC and an NBFC. And in 2018, I joined Fedfina, and I'll take you through the Fedfina story. CV Ganesh is our CFO. Like me, he started working in 94. He was also with Citi, and then he was with HDFC Securities. Helped scale up HDFC Securities from infancy to roughly where it is right now. This is the rest of our management team. Our management team has been drawn largely from Citi or the HDFC group. We all have deep domain experience. That means whatever we are doing within Fedfina, we've done for at least 20 years in other organizations. And we've seen the various cycles that the Indian lending industry has gone through. We are held roughly 73-25 by Federal Bank and True North. This is a rare combination of parentage. Federal Bank is one of India's oldest private banks, and True North is a private equity player. The fact that we carry Federal Bank's name within ours means that our brand name stands for trust trust amongst regulators, investors, lenders, and customers. Our standards of governance are private bank standards of governance. And having a private equity player as an investor means that our operations are efficient. We are familiar with delivering results quarter on quarter and answering for what we have done and what we have not done. This is our board of directors. On the right side, you see the nominee directors. Shyam Srinivasan, Ashutosh Khajuria are representatives of Federal Bank. Shyam is the MD of Federal Bank. Ashutosh used to be on the board of Federal Bank. Maninder Juneja represents True North. He used to run the retail business for ICICI Bank. And our independent directors, Bala is the chairman. He used to run Lazard Capital in India. And Gauri is ex-Deloitte. She runs our audit committee. This is Fedfina in a nutshell. We are a fully formed NBFC. Our risk models, operating models, and financial models are proven, and we have scaled up reasonably. What I mean by that is that our assets under management in June were about 9,400 crore rupees. We have 584 branches across the country, and our return on equity last year was about 14.5%, and our ROE in June was about 15.6%. For the first quarter, our return on equity was 15.6%. We have 4 significant advantages which I will describe to you. I've already spoken about the management team that we have that has been drawn from premier organizations.
કેમ છો બધા? मैं हिंदी में बोलूँगा. हम क्या करते हैं एंड ये प्रेजेंटेशन था. इंडिया में हर घर में थोड़ा तो सोना है और ज्यादातर लोगों के पास मकान है. अनलाइक गुजरात, रेस्ट ऑफ द कंट्री में लोग शहर में इन्वेस्ट थोड़ा कम करते हैं, सोना और मकान में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं सबसे पहले. हमारा काम है कि ये जो उनका फिजिकल एसेट्स बोलते हैं उसको मोनेटाइज करना, एंड हम लोन धंधे वाले को देते हैं. बिकॉज इंडिया में अनगिनत दुकानदार, किराने वाले, जो भी आप बोलो, दर्जी, जो भी सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयड, जैसे अनिल सर ने बोला, जिनको इनकम कैश में मिलता है या और कोई तरीका पूरा रिपोर्टेड इनकम नहीं है, उनको बहुत दिक्कतें होती हैं. हम सब सीनियर मैनेजमेंट में जो भी हैं, जैसे अनिल ने बोला, हम सबको 20, 25, 30 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है बड़े बड़े बैंक्स में, और हमने देखा है इनको ठोकर खाते हुए पैसे के लिए. बिकॉज उनके पास ना इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न है ढंग का, ना जीएसटी रिटर्न है, कुछ ना कुछ है. तो ऐसा नहीं उनको पैसा नहीं मिलता, बट जितना उनको चाहिए उतना नहीं मिलता. तो हमारी एक्सपर्टीज ये है कि हम क्या है, हम जो भी ज्यादातर बैंक्स हैं उनका मॉडल क्या है. सुपरमार्केट में आप जाओगे, आपको 5 साइज में कपड़े मिलेंगे, XXL, XL, L, M, S. या तो आपको फिट होगा या तो फिट नहीं होगा. हम वो जो कोने में दर्जी है ना, हम वो हैं. हर व्यक्ति को हम उसके नाप के हिसाब से लोन बना के देते हैं, उसका सोना के हिसाब से, उसके मकान के हिसाब से, कस्टमाइज्ड, जितना जरूरत, जितना साल के लिए जरूरत, वो एक्सपर्टीज हमारे पास है. ओके, इसीलिए हम अलग हैं, एंड वो हमारी खासियत है. बिकॉज हमको 20, 25, 30 साल का हम सबको एक्सपीरियंस है ये करते हुए, और हमारे नीचे जो लोग हैं वो भी बड़े बड़े बैंक्स, प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक्स, बड़े बड़े एनबीएफसी से आए हैं, एक जज्बे के साथ कि जो मोदी साहब का आत्मनिर्भर भारत है उसको पैसा कहां से आएगा. ओके, सो दैट इज द मॉडल. हम प्राइवेट बैंक जो एनबीएफसी हैं, हम पहले होंगे जो लिस्ट होंगे. 5 ही है इंडिया में, एक एचडीएफसी का, एक एक्सिस का, एक कोटक का, एक आईसीआईसीआई का, चारों लिस्टेड नहीं है. हम 5वें हैं जो हम पहले बैंक वाले एनबीएफसी है जिसमें लोगों को मौका मिलेगा पैसा डालने का. फर्स्ट वन टू लिस्ट, फर्स्ट प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक और एनबीएफसी टू लिस्ट. अब इसका फायदा क्या है? हमारे हिसाब से गवर्नेंस. फेडरल बैंक देश में 90 साल से है और अगला 100 साल तो कम से कम रहने का इच्छा है. हमारा भी ऐसे ही है. हम 211 से हैं, 12 साल हो गए और 100 साल कम से कम निकालना है. तो लॉन्ग टर्म सोच है एकदम, और नींव एकदम मजबूत. बैंक खड़ा है पीछे. छोटा सा डाइवर्समेंट कर रहा है बैंक. मोस्ट ऑफ द बैंक का जो डाइवर्समेंट ज्यादा नहीं है, बट हम जो पब्लिक इश्यू करेंगे उसकी वजह से उसका स्टेक कम होगा 73 से 62. तो बैंक एकदम मजबूती से खड़ा है पीछे. इसको आगे बढ़ाना है, इसको बड़ा करना है, इसको बहुत और पूरे इंडिया में पैन इंडिया लेके जाना है. ओके. हमने पिछले 5 साल से 2018 से लेके हम जब भी हम साथ में आए हैं, बहुत बड़ा नींव खड़ा किया है ताकि उस पे बहुत लंबा सा ढांचा बन सके. हमारे पास आज हम जब शुरू करे थे 120 ब्रांच था. वी हैव 584 ब्रांचेस अक्रॉस साउथ इंडिया, वेस्ट इंडिया, थोड़े थोड़े अभी नॉर्थ में जा रहे हैं. हमारा मॉडल क्या है? मार्केट को समझो, थोड़ा हाथ लगा के देखो, उधर का क्रेडिट कल्चर समझो, उधर का प्रॉपर्टी समझो. जब लगे हां यहां पे चलेगा तो गहराई में जाओ. विच इज वाई हमारी ब्रांचेस में कैपेसिटी है. 4 लोग हैं बट 8 कुर्सी है. एंड जैसे जैसे हम डीप जाएंगे और लोगों को बिठाएंगे और धंधा बढ़ाएंगे. तो नींव बन चुका है. 584 ब्रांचेस से हम छोटे थे, अभी बड़े हो गए. 1000 करोड़ से 9000 करोड़ तक, अभी ये 10,000 करोड़ हो गया. अभी मैं बोल नहीं सकता आगे का, बट कम से कम आरएचपी में जो जून का नंबर है उसमें 9,400 करोड़ आ रही है. बट 584 ब्रांचेस वाला, अब बाकी छोटे छोटे एनबीएफसी को देखो, भले उनका बाजार में कुछ भी भाव चलता हो, इतना ब्रांच किसके पास है आप देख लो. हमारे पास नीचे 3,800 लोग हैं. ओके. सब जैसे मैंने बोला, एक एक को चुन चुन के लिया है. तो हम कुछ करने आए हैं. एंड ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ पैसे बनाना है, एक जज्बा है कि जिसको दिक्कत है पैसे लेने में बट सिक्योर है. 86% ऑफ आवर बुक या तो पीछे में प्रॉपर्टी है या तो पीछे में सोना है. जो अभी कल आरबीआई का सर्कुलर है वैसा नहीं है कि अनसिक्योर दे दो. तो जो प्रॉपर्टी है, अगर 1 रुपए का लोन है तो कम से कम 2.25-2 रुपए का प्रॉपर्टी है. सोना 100 रुपए के सोने पे मेकिंग चार्ज निकाल दे. मेकिंग चार्ज के अगेंस्ट हम लोन नहीं देते हैं. 100 रुपए का सोना है, मैक्सिमम 70 या 75 रुपीज का लोन देते हैं. सिक्योर्ड. मॉडल क्या है?
February 22, the company allowed it to left. What is the reason? And at that time, the issue size was big. It has been reduced. How much we have reduced?
So last year we did have a DRHP live, okay, and we received approvals, but we saw that the environment was not conducive to fundraising last year. So we allowed it to lapse and we refiled it, and the environment now is appropriate for fundraising, and that's why we are doing roadshows and launching our IPO next week. Last time we filed for about 900 crore rupees. This time we are seeking to raise only 600 crore rupees. Some things have changed between the last time and this time. Our company has become a lot more efficient in the way we use our capital, way we use our funds. At that point in time, co-lending, portfolio sell down for securitization or direct assignment was not completely prevalent. The country was just coming out of COVID and all these things were not fully formed or fully entrenched. Now we have about 12% of our assets under management off book. So that's why we don't need to deploy capital on that. Our plans for the future have not changed in terms of growth, in terms of what assets we do. But the capital that is required to execute those plans, in our view, is a little lower. That's why we are coming with a lower primary issue at this point in time. Also, we are confident that we will be able to raise money when required from the public markets. There is no need to tank up on capital and depress the returns of the company. So we will raise money maybe in the future as and when we need it. But this 600 crore rupees is good for the next 3.5 years.
But the company has not allowed any shareholder quota for the present bank shareholders.
Thank you. So
What
almost
Tata is giving, why you are not giving?
yes, sir. So everybody in the country, Federal Bank has almost 10 lakh shareholders. Almost everybody in the country is a Federal Bank shareholder. So consequently, there is no special program for Federal Bank shareholders because that is most of the investing universe in the country. So it's like saying how many people in the country follow the Indian cricket team. That is everybody. There's no need to have a special reservation for that.
How much impact do you expect from the recent RBI decision to raise the 25% weightage for the personal loan and this type of? How much impact do you expect?
So our reading of the RBI circular is as follows. We believe that the RBI's intent and the title of the circular is to curb consumer credit or credit that is availed for consumption. That is the ethos of the circular. So which is why credit card receivables, personal loans that individuals use for consumption, either through fintechs or otherwise, that is the thrust of the circular. Now, our business is to lend to the small self-employed customer for working capital. So the Reserve Bank's circular is not intended for loans for working capital. Now, we lend largely against collateral, whether it's gold or real estate. We do some bit unsecured, but our understanding is that from a lending standpoint, whatever we do does not fall under the ambit of the circular. The second thing is that our cost of borrowing, and I've spoken about it, is actually far lower than other companies are rating and even lower than AA plus companies. So the way lenders look at us is as a preferred kind of borrower because of the fact that we are a subsidiary of Federal Bank. Having said that, the impact of the circular is being understood and it will play out. And while we believe at this point in time that it will be minimal, we will need to, go through the next week and assess it.
Do you think that
Sorry, can I add something, sir? See, RBI जिस चीज को रुकवाना चाहता है ना, प्राइमरीली अनसेक्योर्ड है. जैसे मैं बोलने का कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, हमारा मोस्ट ऑफ द पोर्टफोलियो सिक्योर्ड है. पीछे में कुछ जमानत के लिए या तो सोना है या तो घर है किसी का, तो हमें ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट नहीं होता है. एंड जो हम लोन भी देते हैं वो धंधे के लिए देते हैं. आरबीआई का धंधे वाले लोन पे पाबंदी नहीं है. प्रायोरिटी सेक्टर लेंडिंग पे आरबीआई का पाबंदी नहीं है. उसका मोस्टली पाबंदी है कंज्यूमर रिटेल क्रेडिट, पर्सनल लोन, क्रेडिट कार्ड, ऐसे वाले का. तो हमारा आंकलन के हिसाब से हम पे बहुत ज्यादा फर्क नहीं गिरना चाहिए.
नहीं, ऐसा लगता है कि इंटरेस्ट रेट बढ़ेगा इसके कारण लोन का इंटरेस्ट रेट बढ़ेगा, ऐसा लगता है.
So we are analyzing the circular and I'll tell you how it works practically for us. Practically, the lending decision is a commercial decision. Now, all banks have credit committees. In the credit committee, there are limits for each borrower. And the credit committee approves loans for various borrowers, the quantum of the loan, the pricing of the loan. Now, in the credit committees of various banks, we are able to understand that loans to Fedfina get approved easily because it's people's belief that a subsidiary of a large private bank will not default. So therefore, those are the dynamics that take over pricing. Now, having said that, the risk weight on lending to NBFCs has increased So obviously the impact cannot be wished away. We cannot say that there will be zero impact. Now, as we go through the next 2 months and borrow further, we will get to know how banks are thinking and what the impact will be. But for the immediate term, once we go through this IPO, we will have 600 crore rupees of primary. So I think that should tide us over for the next 2 months, 3 months, and then we will get to know, the dust will settle and we will get to know how this is playing out. The final point is that almost all the loans that we do are